What is going on, everyone? It's your boy Tony at the weekly close, here to report on the art of the chart and the latest trends, thoughts and analysis all in one place. So kicking off a brief hiatus, we've got week 15 with the title Finding the Feet Beneath Us. So kicking off the first video from Marzel with the title being Crypto This Week, 31k, 2.3k ETH. One of those predictions was did come to fruition. But here we have the BTC USD on the weekly time frame, just a reminder of the key levels that we have reclaimed on the logarithmic chart at these higher time frames, and how a solid prediction that came to fruition was on the 8-hour time frame for this sideways equal moving triangle that broke to the upside, and the kind of prediction of that kind of full depth reaching the 6% swing at 31k, and that's precisely what happened. And then a brief reminder on the kind of the total free, not looking away from while there's been all of this BTC and ETH dominance, just to kind of keep into consideration what the technicals are looking like for the altcoin cap markets, anticipating and expecting a breakout to the upside, hence why a lot of people are investing heavily in the altcoin market in the meantime. Plan B earlier in the week shared Plan B, new Bitcoin chart, and I think what's just interesting about this is the highlighting of or the attempt to color categorize 4 stages of a market cycle. So these are meant to represent one, the blue being early bull market, green being late bull market, yellow being early bear market, and red being late bear market. So essentially all bottoms are red, all tops are transitions of green to yellow. And I guess the only good news to be said by now in interpreting these charts is that where we are at the moment at the early stages of a bull market cycle. Just a reminder of just where we sit on the realized, where price sits against realized cost price, remembering that realized cost price is all BTC in circulation divided by the costs, the average cost at which they were sold at. So the fact that now cost has kind of reclaimed not only the current realized cost price, but the 5-month average, and looking to reclaim the 2-year average, and that's usually been quite a significant milestone as we kind of move forward into the latter stages of this bull market. And then this is something we will just partner with Jason Casper's videos just to talk about the importance of timing and halving cycles if you believe in them, and especially this kind of critical period, not just as we approach like zero, but specifically the 1 year before approaching the halving, which has usually been kind of fruitful in kind of price accelerating from basically. You look at the greens in the cycles of the last 2 occasions have kind of represented lows and kind of an ongoing steady upwards surge in the meantime. Gareth Soloway shared the video earlier in the week breaking down charts on Bitcoin, Ethereum and gold, so just kind of reiterating some of the things we were just talking about. So BTC USD on the daily, just highlighting the importance of this 30k, the current 30k resistance, and why it's so important is the support that it offered previously within the cycles, but not just this horizontal support, but also this kind of like downward resistance as well, looking at and how that's impacted price previously. ETH in the meantime has just got this kind of local resistance and the psychological resistance of the $2,000 mark, which it momentarily crossed. And then in the meantime, we've got gold on the daily chart, where we've got this downward sloping resistance and this upward sloping support, and this kind of anticipation of actually maybe gold retracing to kind of test this as support and continues to the upside. So one worth watching and considering. Jason Casper shared the simply titled Bitcoin, It Begins Now, and just kind of highlighting, as we were just talking about, the reclaiming of that key 30k level, and how typically, showing this on the fixed volume range profile, when we enter into a volume area, we usually do end up traversing it at some point or another, and I encourage people to test this on the lower time frame. So the fact that we're re-entering this volume area, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out, and at what kind of timescale do we re-see these kind of levels, below 57k. And I guess this is what I was referring to with regards to the pairing of this with Plan B's counting to the halving. It's just like, as these dashed lines show, so these are the retracements down to the kind of the golden pocket, the Fibonacci retracements for each of the halving sequences, and then this dashed line represents 1 year before the white line, which is the halving. So the fact that we have now approached the month of the 12-month countdown to the halving usually sees a kind of, this is the steady surge, and then the halving is actually what kicks off the real kind of latter half of that kind of bull market. So while we've been looking plenty at the higher time frames, it's also important to be looking at the lower ones. So just looking at more crypto online's earlier video, and this was just the kind of sideways movement around 30k, and since we've kind of broken below the kind of the 0.5 fib retracement for the wave 4, which suggests that's not a valid count. But I guess what's interesting is just kind of looking and reminding everyone of this kind of really clean sideways moving triangle, and how this basically was a kind of a feature of 1, 2 or on different levels of counts. 1, 2 on the larger wave count, 1, 2 on the smaller wave count, 1, 2 on the smaller wave count before breaking. So it's just a clear and easy example. And prior to this, in a classical setup of thinking that this was a clear impulse of the wave 3, and anticipating the pullback of an ABC correction to wave 4, anticipating the completion of that kind of wave, that wave 5 up to the 31.5k level, but all of that to be kind of reviewed in light of the recent wicks down. And it's been a kind of a choppy kind of last week or so as we move into earnings season, but also all of the kind of interpretations surrounding the core CPI data, which has been released of late, as Crypto Michael touched upon. And then finally, just to kind of conclude quickly, is the kind of information that Glassnode shared, and something for us to kind of bear in mind and interpret as we move forward, is the options open interest and the futures open interest marked out against one another. And for the first time in recent history, where we have the options open interest surpassing the futures open interest markets. So that's all kind of changed basically since the FTX collapse in November, with the red line representing one divided by the other. So it'll be interesting to see how this is interpreted, and as we kind of move 30k onwards essentially. So things to just kind of watch out for as we move forward is this kind of consolidation before reclaiming 30k on BTC, and as ETH continues to battle with 2k, and just to kind of move cautiously during this earnings season, with news playing with market sentiment. So look forward to touching base next week and giving an update on latest news and information. Speak until then.